All right, right now Hollywood is in pilot season as TV executives consider new programs for their fall lineup. And with the success of shows like Empire, Jane the Virgin, Fresh Off the Boat, and Blackish, television can now be viewed in true Technicolor. Take a look.
I've been living like a dog for 17 years, and now I want what's mine. It was my $400,000 that started this, and I want half my company back.
I had sex with Bruce 3 days ago.
What? Why are you telling me this?
I don't know. What if you're like a religious messiah? I can't lie to a religious messiah.
Oh, what is this? It's Chinese food. Get it out of here. Ying Ming's eating worms.
I need white people lunch.
I want to have a bar mitzvah, and I'll get a Hebrew name. I'm gonna go with either Shlomo or Shmuel.
We're doing a bang-up job over here.
Listen up. I'm going to need my family to be black, not black-ish.
Daddy's scaring me.
Now, for some, the noticeable shift for more roles for minority actors, it's scary, but for others, it's about time. A lot of you were talking about it after a Deadline.com article points out the distinct rise of ethnic diversity on screen. Shonda Rhimes, the creator of Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder, tweeted, "First reaction, hell no, let me take off my earrings, somebody hold my purse. Second reaction, article is so ignorant, I can't even be bothered." And Mo Ryan, television critic for the Huffington Post, tweets, "Shorter version of that awful Deadline story, hey, people of color, you got a few shows, now step off, you're making some agents nervous." Joining me now to talk about this is Daily Share contributor Sean Pierre Regis, Sirius XM host Pete Dominic, and by phone, the woman who started the Oscars So White hashtag, April Rain. Thank you all for joining us. Sean Pierre, the article points out that networks have replaced white roles with African-American ethnic characters. Assuming that's true, is there reverse racism going on here?
Listen, I think that what the writer was actually trying to say was that people are trying to fill these roles, and because Empire did so well, now casting agents are thinking, well, let's put minority actors in these roles. The thing is that Empire is doing so well because it is a black story that is populated by black actors. This is not a story where you just have black figureheads. That's the key here, is that the writing is where we need the diversity, and the actors come second. It's not just filling in a minority actor in a role just because they're a minority.
So basically you're saying, and Pete, I want you to weigh in on this, if, for instance, we had the cast of Friends, let's go back a little bit, and they said, okay, Ross actually needs to be an African-American guy because we need an African-American on the cast, it's not necessarily going to work. Pete?
Well, I mean, I don't know. We are going way back when it comes to Friends.
Yeah.
And I think he makes a good point about, I think he makes a great point about the writing and how important that is. But there's certainly not reverse racism. And anybody that's scared, any white people that are scared, let me call the wambulance for you. Times are changing. Art, culture, music has always led the way. But we still need to talk about gender, more roles for women. And I went to acting school with a whole lot of Asian people that aren't getting very many roles. And we never talk about that. 5.6% of American population is Asian. But I still think the bottom line color that matters is green. And more casting directors and agents are looking, guess what? Not the color of your skin, how many Twitter followers you have. We should talk about that.
Yeah, that actually is a really good point. We get talked about that all the time, too. April, you know, 13% of the population is African-American in this country. And so-called black shows, for instance, Empire, they can't make it unless everybody's watching. And it seems to me like these casting agents, like Pete was talking about and like Sean Pierre is talking about, they're just riding the wave of success, and that's what people are tuning into.
Well, I think that's right. But I think we need to be very careful and not say that black is the new black, right? What we're talking about is that these roles and roles all over the place should go to those who are the most qualified. So the article was wrong in the sense that it said that particular roles were made black. What happened was, for example, in How to Get Away with Murder, the script was written for a female attorney lead character. When Viola Davis came to the show, she blew it away, and so then this script was rewritten so that it would focus on the fact that she was a black character. So it's not as if this was a white role that became black. It was, as it should be, a role for a woman, and then when the best qualified actor comes forward, that actor happens to be black, and then it became a black actor in that role.
Jean Pierre, say for instance now we're in a situation where they are saying, okay, we need to have more ethnic actors in our cast, right? So we need to make sure that this character is ethnic, of some sort of ethnic background, whether it be African American, whether it be Asian, whatever that may be. maybe that's the direction in which we need to move until we get to a place that it's all equal, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, it's like almost affirmative action in colleges, right? Where you force this sort of a quota that's not really organic. Listen, more minorities need to be on screen. There are more minorities in this nation that are represented. So we need to work on that first. However, this sort of stodgy 50%, 35% need to be of color. I just don't think that that is fair. And to the young woman's point, like, April Rain, we just need the best actors to be out there, and there are amazing of-color actors that are being overlooked right now.
Well, it's interesting, April, really quickly, in this article, they also talked about the fact that there weren't enough qualified ethnic actors for some of the roles they wanted to place them in. We've heard this argument before. We actually heard it about Ferguson, for instance, when they talked about cops. There weren't enough qualified African-American cops to serve on the Ferguson police force. That just seems kind of incredible and incredulous to me, April.
In fact, it is incredulous. It's a bold-faced lie. There are hundreds and hundreds of very qualified actors and actresses of color of all age ranges, and perhaps this writer needs to look a little harder to find them, but if you talk to casting agents, you know that they're out there. If you see, and it's about time that we have actors of color who are being able to come to the forefront.
Right.
The reverse racism is a misnomer. That's not a phrase that we should even be using. This is not about ethnicity. This is about the best qualified actor, and for a change, actors of color, not just black actors, but all actors of color are getting a fair shot
Absolutely.
At upcoming TV pilots.
Pete Dominic, I see you shaking your head. Final thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's ridiculous to say that they can't find enough qualified actors.
Yeah.
Please. You could go out on the street anywhere in California or New York and find as many actors as you want that'll all be dying for an opportunity.
Yeah, I think we're all thinking that. Thank you all for joining us. Fantastic conversation.